What is up everyone, my name's Al from GamesRip, and I thought with all of the Final Fight awesomeness coming to the Sega Mega Drive, I thought it was time to check out an awesome Beats of Rage. Today we're taking a look at Hyper Final Fight 2 on the Sega Dreamcast. Is it a decent Beats of Rage? Does it actually add anything to the Final Fight universe? Let's take a look. So yes, this is part of the Beats of Rage remix collection that's actually been out for quite some time now, so there's a fair amount of Beats of Rage titles here. Obviously, not the fully optimised versions that we know and love now, but nonetheless, some decent titles, so let's just start with Hyper Final Fight 2. Let's do that. So yes, I guess this is essentially meant to be a continuation of the other Final Fight games. I guess, very loosely. They're all back at it again, this time with an incredible cast of playable characters. Cammy, Hagar, Lucia, Carlos, Guy, Cody, you name it, they're all here to play as, which already is going off to a great start. Now, no, this isn't using the most recent version of Beats of Rage or Dream Bore or whatever you want to call it. This is an older version. As you can probably tell, the frame rate isn't all that. I think it's probably running about 30 frames per second. I could be wrong. But it's very playful and it actually looks beautiful. It looks like any other Final Fight or mainline Final Fight franchise game. And it's playing really well, yes. Like I said, frame rate drops, but it actually plays pretty damn beautifully. I mean, just listen to the music and listen how it actually sounds. And no, not just music itself, sound effects as well. There's no real glitching with the sound, which is fantastic, because at the end of the day, sometimes bad music, bad sound effects actually makes for a really bad experience. Now, like I said, this isn't really going to be any different to any other mainline Final Fight game, but that doesn't make it any worse. In fact, that makes it that just much more awesome, I'd say. I think for me, the fact this really isn't going and sort of deviating any storyline, playstyle's exactly the same, pretty much exactly the same. That's what you want, right? You just want more Beats of Rage awesomeness, or just, a standard beat 'em up game on the Sega Dreamcast, and being that it's based around the Final Fight universe, that in itself makes it look and play and really does make it that much more awesome. The other great thing is this is also couch co-op, so that's right, if you want to play with a couple mates, or just, well, not a couple mates, one friend to make the couple, then yes, you can obviously do that as well. Which, let's face it, all the best fighting games out there do that. If you're playing single player, yeah, it's okay, but with a mate, you can both scream at the screen at the same time. Kinda makes sense, right? Now, one thing you may notice is the screen actually it does dip slightly, so you've kind of got a black bar across the top. That I don't know why that happened. I don't know if it's the way I captured it, but I'm pretty sure I even noticed it during the actual gameplay taking, the footage collection, let's say. I did kind of notice it, so I don't know why that is. I mean, I don't think it really affects the gameplay all that much. It's kind of barely noticeable, although now the fact I've said it, you're probably going to notice it. But hey, again, I don't think it makes all that much difference at all. Yes, it will feel like you're mildly being gang abused, let's say, with this one, because the hordes and hordes of enemies along with the bosses will really keep you busy. And let me tell you, they really throw them at you at a pretty quick rate. So you will start off pretty slow, but I mean, to be fair, by the end of level 1, you're going to feel like you're actually taking a bit of a pounding. So yes, I will say though, the difficulty isn't too hard. I think that's mainly because the game's kind of done so well. It doesn't feel unfair. The hit detection actually feels about right, to be fair, which is another fantastic thing. So yeah, you know, even though you are getting a load of enemies thrown at you, it's still fair and still feels very balanced. Another great thing, at the end of each level, it does do your score tally, which then goes on and kind of leads you into a bit more of the story. Now that's the best thing about most Beats and Rage games. They don't all do this, but the ones that do actually feels like there's a story to be told. Controls are solid here, they're very, very responsive to the point where you tap a button, it's pretty much immediate response. You can get some of them where they kind of feel delayed. This isn't delayed, it actually works really, really well on the best controller and the best console of them all. As I always say, the Sega Dreamcast. We all know it is, and yes, like I said, I've been proven correct again with this one. Now, I think you'd be right in saying that the music you can hear is taken from other Final Fight games, as well as the actual textures here, the kind of scenery and everything. Yeah, it's all taken from other Final Fight games, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually think that adds to it. I think it looks really, really good, you can't deny. It looks pretty damn solid. Yes, the frame rate isn't 100%, but it's good. You cannot deny it. It is good, but yes, I think with if it was just tweaked that little bit more, it would be one of the best Beats and Rage games. That's right, one of the best on the Sega Dreamcast. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this Hyper Final Fight 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. Obviously, if there's some more Beats and Rage games you'd like me to take a look at, let me know, drop them in the comments box below. And also tell me, is there a Beats and Rage game that you'd like to see actually created? Certain storylines, certain characters? Let me know. Like, comment and subscribe. It's Al signing out.